Hello again, friends. Chase Early here to talk to you about Mesoamerican ancient cities, mainly Tenochtitlan. Well, first up, let's check out the Codex Boturini, also known as the Pilgrimage Strip.
Here we see from Museo del Temple Mayor a replica of the Codex Boturini, where the Aztecs made pilgrimage from Aztlan. According to INA TV's Codice Boturini Recorrido, we see the people from Aztlan, known as the Aztecs, leaving their homes, going on a journey in the year 1 Flint, as directed by the Aztec god Huitzilopochtli. They were joined by 7 other neighboring tribes where they journeyed onward carrying their gods. Well, they walked until they came to a large ahuehuete tree, shown here, where they sat down to eat and set up an altar for Huitzilopochtli. Huitzilopochtli was reported to speak and scare the 7 other tribes, leaving only the Aztecs to remain. Well, Huitzilopochtli gave them the name Mexica and told them to keep journeying forward, as well as equip them with an arrow, a bow, and a net so they would be ready for what awaited them on their journey. Next, in the year 2, they arrived at a place with 2 mountains, and shown here, they stayed for 26 years. All of these squares represented a particular year for the Mexica people. Well, they journeyed on, showing resilience, endurance, and finally, they came to King Coyoacan, who took them prisoner, and basically, after the Aztecs had asked if they could have weapons, he refused and told them he would set them free if they would fight the enemies of King Coyoacan, who were the Xochimilcos. Well, the Aztecs saw this as an opportunity. Taking the obsidian knives, they marched onward until they reached Tenochtitlan. Here we can see a beautiful map made for Hernan Cortez in the 16th century. This was known as the Aztec center of the universe. And according to David Carrasco, which is where this map came from, his book, The Aztecs, a very short introduction in 2012, he said this great city of Mexico was an architectural wonder. The Spaniards even thought it might have been a dream because they'd never seen such engineering and massive organized architectural structures. This ancient city actually had over 200,000 inhabitants at one time. Well, set up in the middle of Lake Texcoco, Tenochtitlan rose to supreme Mesoamerican political and economic power by the Triple Alliance. It was formed between the Texcoco, the Tlacopan, and Tenochtitlan people, all known as the Mexica, so that they could form a fortified economy. David Carrasco also reports that this political alliance flourished over a span of 77,000 square miles as they combined political, military, and agricultural resources, ending up in over 5 million inhabitants. Well, let's take a closer look at the center, which to us is known as the Sacred Precinct. In Dr. Gilbert Estrada's lecture, The Aztec Sacred Precinct Explained, the Sacred Precinct was the center of the Aztec universe. A strong sense of family, community, recreation, as seen in the ball court where the game Ulama was practiced. We also see education was a priority in the Calmecac, military training in the Temple of Eagle Warriors, priests in religious ceremony was a daily activity, all to take us to the center, Templo Mayor. Shown here in a closer piece of art, the Templo Mayor was a very important part of ancient Aztec religion. According to the historical eyewitness account of Bernal Diaz del Castillo's The True History of the Conquest of New Spain in 1632, the Aztecs were very gifted engineers. They erected this massive temple. They also made bridges and causeways that would flow all around the sacred precinct in the Lake Texcoco. Well, Templo Mayor, according to Contigo en la Distancia al Corturo desde Casa 2020, was the most prestigious structure, towering at over 148 feet tall. It was made of dirt, lime, sand, and volcanic stone. Likely, these materials were transported across the lake in the canoes on the causeways. After 7 stages of reconstruction, we see that the Templo Mayor became at its full peak and glory, directly aligned with the sun. At the very top, according to Templo Mayor Museum of Mexico City in 2020, we learned that the north side of the temple shrine was for Tlaloc. Tlaloc was the Aztec god of fertility and of rain. Parallel to that was the Aztec shrine to the Aztec god Huitzilopochtli, who was the god of war, or in some cases the sun as well. This shows that a mythological understanding of posterity protection were central to the Mexica worldview. Well, according to Dr. Lauren Kilray Eubank and Dr. Stephen Zucker for Khan Academy's Unearthing the Aztec Past, all of this was destroyed soon after the Spanish conquistadors arrived. It was reported that there were 78 buildings total, and only a few have been found.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Peace be with you.